I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Wendy Y. Bailey. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm doing just great, thank you. I'm excited to be here to share with you.
It's a great pleasure to connect as well. Tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Atlanta, Georgia,
That's
the
great.
melting pot of the Southeast.
I love that. Love that. I usually say Trinidad is the melting pot. Trinidad and Tobago is the melting pot of the Caribbean. So I love that. So we can combine two pots and make a melting pot squared, right?
Absolutely, yeah,
That sounds
absolutely.
great. Well, tell me, my friend, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Which of my talents? What an amazing question. I guess, my main talent is being like a master business and sales coach. I'm a beast at helping my clients increase their income rapidly.
Ooh, who did you learn that skill from?
Years of experience. I'm a more than 15-year veteran in the coaching profession, and I think I've always been part salesperson. And when I got into sales initially as a teenager, it just kind of built from there. All of my experiences have fueled my learning, my growth, my ability, my competence, my confidence as well. So all of it is just pointing in that direction.
Hmm. Give me an example of one of your favorite coaching clients that you've taken from beginning to end and definitely enjoyed the journey.
Wow. I have quite a few favorite coaching clients, but let me see if I can narrow it down to just one. The one that comes to mind for me is a coaching colleague because I typically work with other coaches. And she came to me and she wanted to experience income acceleration. She was at a point where she was feeling kind of broke and a little bit of despair around her business. And we did some things in our work together in like 10 weeks of working together that I turned her mindset around because that was a big part of it and got her in the mode of what I call consistent action or expectant faith in action. You can use either one of those. And what I mean by that is taking a step and making sure you believe that that step is going to count. It's going to matter. It's going to mean something. So, in the process of shifting her mindset and getting her into that action mode, she was able to quadruple her income in less than 10 weeks. And a lot of it was because of our work together, the mindset work and the accountability around her inspired action.
Now, definitely carrying a colleague or a customer or a client from that place takes some know-how as well as it's challenging. Why will you nevertheless continue to help others the way you are helping them?
Because I think it's necessary. There are a lot of coaches in the marketplace today that, so many more than were here when I started more than 15 years ago. And I just don't want to see my colleagues struggle. I want them to be successful. I want them to make an impact in the lives of their clients. And ultimately, it's about making the world a better place.
Where's the best place for us to connect with you, Wendy Y?
There are a couple of places. I am Wendy Y Bailey, Wendy Y Bailey, B like boy, Ailey, on all social media platforms. You can reach me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google Plus, everywhere. My website, yeah, Wendy Y Bailey is just the theme for everything. And then my website is businessbeyondlimits.com.
I love it. No, Wendy Y. It's not WHY, folks. It's Y, the letter Y. All right, so it's Wendy Y Bailey. Wonderful. Well, Wendy, tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Over the last 3 years, wow, I've consistently been building my brand. I rebranded last year, late 2015, early 2016. And so I've been building and rebuilding my brand under a different name.
Mm.
Business Beyond Limits is what I rebranded to. And I picked some of the juicy parts of all the work that I've loved doing over the years and built my brand around those juicy parts.
Mm.
So those things have kept me pretty busy with live events, with special programs. And this year, I published my first book, an international best-selling book, in this year in July. And then I also had
Tell
my
us the name of
first.
the book, Wendy.
Uh, if you can imagine, it is Business Beyond Limits: 7 Powerful Practices for Creating a Highly Profitable Business. That's the
Sweet.
name of the book. Yep. And I also had my first live conference. I've done live events, 1-day events, but I did my first live conference, 2.5 days here in Atlanta last month. That was a big success. And I also launched my digital university this year. It's called More Coaching Clients Sales and Marketing Academy. And there are more details at morecoachingclients.com. It's sort of a culmination of all of my work, Angel. And I love being able to share my gifts in a broader way. I want to help more people, and the academy is how I'm going to be able to do that.
You haven't stopped. How does it make you feel?
Makes me feel wonderful
That's
to
great.
know that I'm making a difference. And ultimately, it's sort of like the pebble in the river, in the water. It creates ripples. I know that I'm creating ripples that ultimately are impacting the world. And
All the
that's
way in
how
Trinidad. All the way in.
exactly, exactly. And I love that. I
Yeah,
have clients all over the world too, so that makes a difference.
that
I
is
know I'm
great.
making an impact.
That is amazing. Suggest to someone who's out there who has the pebble in their hand why they should throw it into the river as well.
Lots of reasons. I am a girlfriend kind of coach, but I know how to crack the whip too. So if they're very interested in accelerating their income, if you're interested in growing confident in how you build your business, if you're really ready and interested in stepping into a world where you're seen, heard, and known for your gifts and talents, I'm the coach that you want to connect with.
Love it. WendyY Bailey, amazing audience. You're hearing it live here on the 12-Minute Convo podcast. Wendy, let's switch gears for a moment now and let
Okay.
me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Wendy, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Wow, my earliest childhood memory is sitting at the end of a coffee table in the living room of my parents' home. And I could not navigate for whatever the milk that I was drinking and the apple that I had in my hand. So I ended up letting the milk go and it splashed up in my face. And I was probably about 3 or 4 years old, but I remember that so vividly like it was yesterday.
Wow. Wow, intriguing. So why do you think this memory is so clear and how do you see it connecting to who you are today?
I think that for me, that is so clear because, you don't remember, studies show that you don't remember your initial birth months. But there's a time when you go from not remembering how you were born into the world to when you were actually existing and present and a part of what was happening in your world and in your life. And I think for me, that's the memory that connects me to everything else that happened in my world.
Mm.
I'm the youngest of four. I am, we're all kind of entrepreneurial. We got that from both of our parents. But I look at that particular memory and I know that I'm always kind of navigating the proverbial apple and the milk. You know what I
Oh,
mean? I'm always in that mode of navigating and negotiating it. And it's the story of my life as a person, as a mom, as an entrepreneur as well.
Well, can I offer an interpretation or add to what you've said?
Sure.
Yeah, to the memory. I love the idea of understanding where we are at and that being the catalyst for understanding where we can be. In that memory, you're a toddler, right? Just under toddler, right?
Hmm.
And it's
Hmm.
fascinating to see that you are attempting more than you can manage. Understandably, you got to the point where you could do even more. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's because of the support system around you. Now to see that you are providing yourself as a support system and everything else that you're creating to provide that for others so that they too can have their milk and their apple.
No.
Metaphorically speaking, of course, is pretty intriguing.
Nice. Nice. I love the interpretation. I can go with that as well.
Wendy, if we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh, my favorite song. I didn't know. I didn't even see that one coming. I honestly don't know. I can't think back to 12 and remember my favorite song. I can think back to 17 and remember my favorite movie.
There we go. That'd be interesting. Tell us.
Yeah, my favorite movie back then, if you can imagine, I had several because I'm still to this day a movie buff. But my favorite movie back in that day was the first Ghostbusters movie.
All right. Well,
The first Ghostbusters movie. Yeah. Is that your favorite song?
Oh no, that was actually me attempting to do the song track for Ghostbusters.
Ah, okay. I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. You sound like me. You hum like I do. I don't hum like people can recognize what I'm humming. So well, I get it.
The good thing is it's recorded, so you could hear how much it didn't sound like it another time, right?
Over and over again. Yes.
Well, Wendy, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Wendy?
I am. WendyY.
WendyY. WendyY. Have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
Yes.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Yes.
Oh, all right. What about screen time? The phone and or the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
More than 8.
If you, WendyY, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
Leap and the net will appear.
Ooh, love it, WendyY.
One of my favorite quotes from Richard Burroughs.
There we go. WendyY, this was such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Wow, I'm just excited to have this opportunity to connect with you, Angel, and your audience. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. WendyY Bailey, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.